I'm instantly transported to our honeymoon. We went to the Ritz-Carlton, Kapalua in Maui. There's a grand porte-cochere. My heart flutters for a really nice porte-cochere. They put a lei over our necks. There's an epic view as soon as you walk into the lobby. There's fancy flavored water that they give you. There's this similarity in that there's a very intentional, crafted experience. How are entrepreneurs like us daring bravely to build a stage, ditch the sweatpants, and step up to the mic? How do we create our own transformative events so we can get our message out into the world in a bigger way that's not only profitable, but it's actually something we can be proud of? That's the question. And the answers are inside this podcast. My name is Sarah Pfeiffer. Welcome to Green Room Central. Have you ever been to an event that opened and closed with a bang? Well, if so, you know the power of bookends and setting the tone and leaving a lasting impact. And today we're going to dive into event openings and closings, those moments that really set the stage for the impact your event will make, and also really the emotional journey that guests take. I know it's Christmas, but this has been on my mind lately because I've been doing a lot of yoga. We joined a new club back in August, and ever since then, I've been just all going gangbusters on the group fitness and got back into yoga. So it's really weird. I did yoga when I was pregnant years ago, and I thought it was like, because it was presented to me as prenatal yoga, and I did the yoga and the prenatal yoga, and it felt amazing. And I thought it was like just like this unique thing to pregnancy. I know that's crazy. It didn't occur to me that I could just keep doing the yoga and I would still continue to feel amazing. And so, fast forward several years, and now I've reconnected with this old friend and found it's amazing. And what really interests me is that the yoga class starts with this really intentional kind of grounding exercise. It seems like every class, the instructor has us get on the mats and maybe do a child's pose or some slow stretches that are guided. And it's really this like quiet, slow, peaceful time to just, they call it arrive on your mat. And sometimes I'm not really like in love with the yogi type language. It seems a little flu woo woo to me, but I think essentially what's happening is it's creating this little bubble, because I'm usually running in from something else, from doing work stuff, and my head is in a million places, plus thinking mom things and, family things. And then we get there and there's this time to just switch that off and turn on being here, being present in this moment, doing this thing. And I've noticed there's been a couple times when I've run late and I've either gotten into that time like halfway through or missed it completely. And the class feels totally different to me because I haven't arrived, and to use their language. And wow, it really caught me off guard and interested me and got me thinking about how that applies to events. And then before we move on to that, like the end has basically the same thing with that Shavasana period where you're lying on the mat and, finish the slow stretching business and then just kind of basically do a short meditation, just like turn off the brain, don't move. And it is the perfect bookend to end that time and then signal, okay, now we're going to go do like back to real life again. And it just makes me think of all the times during events where the event host has intentionally crafted those bookends, and it's made a big difference. And so I thought we would have a quick chat about that. I know it's Christmas and you've got like a bajillion other things to do, or maybe you don't and you cleared your schedule and you're free to just like take a walk and listen. Regardless, I'll make this quick. What I wanted to say was those bookends of an event significantly influence guests' memories and how they perceive the event as a whole. It's an emotional experience that we get to create in those bookends. And I think the way that an event opens and closes often becomes the most memorable aspect, and it shapes that, the overall perception of the event's success. Let's start with openings. I think the opening sets the tone. It engages the guests right from the beginning. I think that's key. So many people come to me saying, "Sarah, how can I make my event more engaging?" This is a way. It's the first impression. I want you to think about a dinner party. What happens? Like a product of Ina Garten. I like madly in love with her cooking shows and reading her cookbooks. And if you read her cookbook, she's always talking about kind of like setting that tone from the very moment. So she's always got the music on and something to hand someone, to put something like a drink to give them so that they have something in their hand. It makes people feel more comfortable, like they have a purpose. And then obviously if it's a climate where there's coats, offering to take those. And like I think a great dinner party has that type of an intro. Think of a spa. You go in, they give you a cozy robe, they show you to the fancy spa water, comfy chairs, music, right? Think of a hotel. I'm instantly transported to our honeymoon. We went to the Ritz-Carlton, Kapalua in Maui. There's a grand porte cochere. My heart flutters for a really nice porte cochere. They put a lei over our necks. There's an epic view as soon as you walk into the lobby. There's fancy flavored water that they give you. There's a similarity in that there's a very intentional crafted experience. I've been to a lot of personal development conferences, and a common theme is like the really amazing epic hype music that starts it out, kind of gets everyone's heart beating in unison and like smiles on people's faces that reaches their eyes, and they're like, I don't know what's going to come next, but I'm excited. So we're think about like we're creating a state at the opening. People are often their state, the way they're coming into most events is eager and excited and curious, especially when it's a coaching event. And that a captivating start can really harness that positive energy, and setting that in a really vibrant, exciting atmosphere can really draw your guests into the event's purpose and kind of hold them there. And I think that well-crafted opening really like perks up people's interest and captures their intention and encourages them to participate, and because they're feeling good, they want to. And I think we're we're talking about emotional investment right from the outset. I think that's what we're able to ensure. And I think that's exciting and a really awesome opportunity. Now, let's talk about closings for a little bit. So the closing, it's a moment that leaves a lasting impression. And I think guests' emotions at the end are heightened. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement over what's happened, and that's all kind of swirling inside of them. And it's almost to the point where they don't know what to do with it all because it's so much. There's like so much joy, so much information, so much excitement over new connections they've made. And their sense of either fulfillment or disappointment can really impact the overall takeaway they have from the event. And we have that opportunity at the end to kind of shape what that looks like. And I think a closing bookend that's impactful really reinforces the key messages, leaves a lasting emotional, what's the right word? Like resonance, if you will. And it really kind of boosts the purpose of the event, the takeaways. Think about fireworks. At the end, there's the grand finale. Like that's what we remember, right? Even a dinner with a great dessert or a party favor on the way out the door, or even a concert with a big finale. I always think about going to U2 at an outdoor football stadium in Minneapolis, and at the end it was pouring and they came out for an encore. And that is just burned in my brain. It's a core memory. And, and walking out at this just high. So I think that was what's on my heart to share today. Is I think it warrants intentionality and kind of like an extra, like put a pin in that as something that next time you meet with your team to brainstorm your event, like let's put some extra care and attention into how we're going to open and close this thing because it matters. You know me, the details matter. And this is one of them for sure. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me on Christmas of all things to talk about bookends today. Remember, an event's opening and closing really does hold immense power in shaping guests' emotional experiences and overall event perception. And taking the time to craft these moments with care can significantly up-level the event's impact and leave a lasting impression on your guests. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Make it an outstanding rest of the week. Take care. Thank you for listening to the Green Room Central podcast. If you loved this episode, then please take a screenshot on your phone and post it to Instagram, and be sure to tag @SarahPfeiffer and let me know why you liked it and what you'd like to hear or who you'd like to hear from in the future. That'll help me know what to create for you. Also, if it's on your heart to host your first or next event this year and you need a jumpstart, let's connect for a strategy session. Just go to greenroomcentral.com. In a 2-hour intensive private session, I can help you pivot, scale, or start your event vision from scratch. Together, we will build an actionable plan so that you feel confident and clear on your next steps. Go to greenroomcentral.com right now to sign up. I appreciate your commitment to leveling up and learning the mindset and strategy of live events. Keep going. Keep learning. If you want more, head over to greenroomcentral.com for show notes and all the links from today's episode.